Stretching from the Pacific Northwest to the East Coast and landing in the Midwest, Joshua, Tracy, and Kelly present to you Rooted Perspectives, an audio and video podcast.
Join us while we share our perspectives on a wide variety of topics that are both culturally and socially relevant, ranging from current events, travel, technology, lifestyle, pop culture, finance, careers, and so much more.
3 diverse perspectives, rooted across the country.
Alrighty, welcome back to our listeners and viewers to Rooted Perspectives. We have your 3 co-hosts, Joshua,
Tracy,
Kelly.
We hope your Christmas and holiday season has been going well. For this week's podcast, we actually wanted to talk about Christmas starting off and the types of gifts that we actually received this holiday season. So I actually wanted to ask Kelly, what were some of the highlights that you got as gifts this season?
Other than the stomach flu, I did get that late on Christmas, so it didn't really ruin the holiday because our day was pretty much already done. But I got lots of great gifts. I got a new cookbook.
Ooh.
And it's all slow cooker and air fryer recipes, my 2 favorite small kitchen appliances. I got my favorite perfume that I use. It's a rollerball one, so I can take it on the go. I don't know, just lots of different little things. I got this little lantern from my mother is like the Mrs. Claus of the world. She just gives amazing gifts. She makes sure everyone's included. Like, I could invite someone to Christmas an hour before we go there, and she would like have gifts wrapped for them, and they would love it. It's just, she's very, Christmas is her thing.
It's awesome.
So yeah, I don't know, lots of just little things.
Did anybody else in your family get sick, or was it just you?
Well, come to find out, not my immediate family, but I spent the Friday before Christmas with my large extended family, and one of the main families that was there all got influenza.
Oh,
so like a couple of the little kids threw up, a couple of the adults just kind of had like, you know, like cold type of stuff, and so potentially it was that. I don't know. It wasn't from being hungover, because I know, Josh, that you would be asking that or thinking that, but
I thought it'd be from food poisoning, but I guess not.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine. That's the same meal I've had every Christmas for my whole life. Like the turkey, the ham, the stuffing, and potatoes and everything. And no one else who ate that got sick. And this was like hours later. We ate at like 1 p.m. and this was at like 10 p.m.
So here's my question. Were you drinking that night?
I had a couple glasses of wine throughout the day. Like we played games on Christmas. So my mom handed me like a glass of wine, but nothing crazy. Right? Nothing that would cause that.
What about you, Tracy?
What did you guys get for Christmas? Cookbooks and perfume as well?
One of these. I got a beard comb.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because I've been wanting one for a while, and it's made out of ox horn. Pretty dope.
Interesting.
Very.
It looks good.
I love it. And yeah. I got a single blade razor. Like, here, I'll show you if I can zoom in. And it is pretty dope. Oh, okay, there you
go. Oh, that looks fancy.
Yeah, I was always told that, like, well, okay, not told, but when they advertise, like, the Gillette razors, they're like, see our new 17 blades in this one little razor. I thought more razors were better, so why is a single razor blade a thing?
I think because of the angle that the blade is at. Like, the 5 blades, I think, are at such a like tight angle that they're still good blades, but like this one, like you know how with the 5 blades, 4 blade stuff, you have to like shave against the grain.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do that with this one.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know exactly how that works.
yeah, I bet you do. But I
Get
feel
rid
like
of
these
that
are
beard,
sharper.
Kelly.
I feel like these are sharper, so you have to be more careful. But yeah, I
That
got
was more
candy.
like something like a barber would use, I feel
Yeah,
like.
it's more barber style, which, from what I'm told and like I've heard, they're a lot sharper than like the Gillette stuff or whatever. I got 4 packs of Cards Against Humanity expansions, so that was really cool.
That's awesome.
That's a
And yeah,
fun game.
yeah, and I got myself some stuff like some NBA cards and whatnot, and obviously this PC.
What'd you get your wife, man?
I got her socks, which I get her pretty much every year because she loves socks. I got her a $50 Visa. I got her Snickers bars. I got her Baby Yoda Band-Aids, just because. It was
You?
funny when she got them. She's like, I thought about getting you Band-Aids because I passed the same Band-Aids. And I got her earrings, and I got her this, like, um, it's kind of, it's like a bathrobe, but it's really thin material. Like, it has the tie around the waist, like a bathrobe, and it's open like a sundress, and it has slits in the bottom, so that, like, if she could just come home, or, like, after a shower, she can just, like, throw it on and be comfy, but, like, still feel like it's a robe type of thing, so, yeah.
That's nice, man. Very thoughtful.
I did have a gift make me cry this year,
What was
which
that?
does sometimes happen with me. I get very emotional around the holidays, like every year. Um, and it took me a second to realize it, but my aunt had mailed me a gift from Texas, and it was like this little Texas tumbler, like a wine kind of shaped tumbler. And so that was cool. And then she had the little state of Texas, and I love Texas stuff because that's like my home away from home. And then she gave me a Marlins mug, and Marlins is a restaurant here in
Oh,
Sioux Falls. Huh?
I thought it was the baseball team. I was like, why would that make you emotional?
No, it's a restaurant, and this was actually my late uncle. I had an uncle, her husband passed away earlier this year in April, and so this was like one of his mugs that he used, I'm assuming, used at home. But Marlins
Oh,
is like a Sioux Falls local restaurant, so when he would come to town, he would like take us there. And so that was just very sweet for like, your uncle who's no longer with you to like give you a gift. It was very
that's
cute.
cool.
Yeah.
That's very
Sentimental.
cool.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Josh?
Rather than getting gifts for my husband and him getting gifts for me, we did a treat yourself day from, I believe it's Parks and Rec. We just went out and we said, okay, we have this set amount of money that we want to spend this one day. We can spend it however we want to. So we went out to lunch. We went out to dinner. We bought some clothes. What else did we do? We spent money on like other things too. And I'm trying to think, buying like books and stuff. But it was fun. Just spent like a whole day out spending money.
That is fun. Like a shopping spree.
We don't get gifts because we spend 24/7 together. So it's like if he was to be like, "Oh, I'm going somewhere," I'd be like, "Where are you going?" "Oh, to this store." And I'm like, "Oh, well, to the store for what, bro? We have everything for dinner." Like, I like to ask questions, but also I also like do like the bills. So if there's like a charge on Amazon, I'm like, "Yo, bro, what'd you spend $30 on Amazon for?"
I feel like that's another reason why we don't do like a huge Christmas is because we buy so much stuff during the year. Like, we spend a lot of money during the year, and it's pretty much just because can't take it with us if we go, so why not?
We spend the money just together. That's what we do. Like, why not just spend it together? Like, it's stressful trying to figure out what gift you want to get someone, especially if you want to make it be special and hit home. And it's just like, screw it. Like, what do you think we need together? Like, do you think we need an air fryer? Because I do.
I like that your gift was more of an experience. And that's what I try and do too. Like for example, one of the main gift that we got mom and dad this year for Christmas was we're doing a big family vacation in February. We're going to like Cabo San Lucas, Mexico.
Jealous.
And we've been there several times and we've never done this, but I'm hiring a professional photographer to come take family pictures for us. So they'll be
Whoa.
like professional photos. It's just like a 1 hour session, but we'll be at the beach. It'll be like a pretty background, and then mom will take like a little obituary photo for dad because we joke about him like just he's getting older, so we always say like we're taking his obituary photo. But just yeah, my mom, she kind of teared up when she saw that because she knows her granddaughters will be there and just she'll love the photos.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so today we're going to do a reflection on 2022, things that we could have done better, things that we enjoyed doing, things that we accomplished. Josh, you want to kick this off?
Yeah, I guess things for 2022 were good for me. One thing that I would say that I like enjoyed doing was staying busy with my business. It definitely kept me on my feet and on my toes, always constantly moving and thinking about what's next to happen. So I'm grateful for that, not stagnant. Um, I mean, I got a new puppy, so that was pretty cool. Like, I'm happy about that. My marriage is good. Happy about that. Like, overall, like, I think 2022 was a good year for me. I had a lot of good things happen. Like, I've been working out, improving my health. Like I said, got a puppy, started a podcast with the two of you. Bad things that happened to me. Got into a horrible biking accident and tore up my freaking body. Wasn't able to exercise for like a whole month. Like, had some bad stuff happen, but I mean, overall, pretty successful. What about you guys, Kelly?
Um, when I look back at the year, I think majority of it was good. There's only always like I live in a or I work a very tumultuous up and down type of job. So career wise, it was a little bit lower, like income wise, maybe than what I've done in the past. But um, personally and family wise, everything was really good. I took amazing trips, which is always like number one top type of priority and what I look for like during my time. So I would say my biggest highlight of the year though, and it could be like my favorite trip I've ever taken, was going to Chicago and taking my dad to a Source Bears game. I just feel like there is nothing that is ever gonna beat that.
That's very awesome, Kelly.
Yeah,
I'm
like
still
even
surprised.
Mexico, like we've been there before. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be gorgeous. But I will never ever have the chance to recreate the trip that we had.
I was going to say, I'm surprised that that was his first game at this stage of his life, you know what I mean? Like, because especially how big of a fan you guys are, so.
Yeah, we just like did not grow up travel. I think that's why I travel now is because like we grew up not well off. We had like I think I maybe had like one major vacation and it was because we like stayed with my aunt and uncle in California. Like I don't think he grew up traveling, and so I think even just like going to Chicago to him was like just nothing he ever thought about doing. I don't know. So
It's awesome.
that was definitely a bucket list thing. Definitely things I could have done better with work, working out, things like that. I always have goals in the beginning of the year, and I'm kind of one to quickly let them fall apart. But this year, I'm gonna be better.
That's funny. I
I
love
mean,
it.
surely it goes deeper than just saying I'm going to get better. People always say that in this time of year.
Yeah, I know.
I think one thing I would have done differently was I would have traded a lot differently. like I probably lost about over 300,000 on options, and I don't know how much on penny stocks because I didn't follow the chart. And we've talked about that in previous podcasts. Granted, money isn't everything, but it would be so nice to, like, especially since we just got a new car, to just pay it off. I think I definitely had a lot of regrets, but the military here was jerking us around pretty much the entire year on whether she was getting out, and then, because she was getting out and then she wasn't, and then she was getting out and then she wasn't, and now she's getting out, we think. And it's like there's this tug of war for pretty much the entire year. And so it kind of stopped me from, like, I wanted to start my own detailing business, like car detailing business, because I love doing that. But like that stopped me because it's like I'm not going to put forth all this effort, time, money, energy into something, and we're just going to be moving soon. And then we weren't moving, and then now we are moving, and it's just like, and because of that, I didn't take, like back in Idaho, I took mixed martial arts and Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I loved it, and I was really good at it, especially the grappling side, the wrestling side, submissions, and I loved it. But I haven't looked for it here because, again, I didn't want to go through all this training or get established and then move. And a big part of me thought, I should have just done it because what would be the harm in doing it, I didn't do a lot of hobbies, but that's more so just because of the stress that the market put on me this year was so substantial that it just like crippled me physically and mentally. Like a couple of years ago, I was 193 and 3% body fat, and I've lost 15 pounds since then. So I've let myself go. Like when I'm really depressed and stressed and like going through a lot of stuff, I won't eat. Like I don't know how many times I've sat in my office trading and I wouldn't eat breakfast and I wouldn't eat lunch, and then I would come out and just eat dinner, which I know a lot of people do that anyway, but it's a pretty bad strategy when you're trying to, maintain a specific body weight or gain weight, like which is what I'm trying to do, which is a huge goal in 2023 is to gain muscle because I've let myself go so much. Like I know Josh compliments me all the time on how I look. I get it, but like from the outside looking in, like you never really know someone's personal struggles. Like you may see, like a lot of people look at me and they think I have it easy, or like physically I have it all together and I work out all the time, and like I'm just blessed, and genetically I am blessed. I really am, and I'm very thankful for that. I've always been thankful for that, but like somebody's own personal goals is so much different than the next person's. Like I'm pretty disappointed in what I have done this year personally with letting myself go, but on the same note, I think because of the struggles that I've endured just in life in general, like I'm very, very fortunate to, just have my own house and be able to trade stocks and have 2 puppies and a great wife and the few great friends that I have. Like I'm very blessed to have that. I'm blessed to have like the few freedoms that a lot of people don't really, think about, like having your own house, having a roof over your head, being able to eat when I want, sleep when I want. Like that's not the case for everybody, so.
One thing I do love about this time of year is I feel like I get a renewed sense of energy because it's like we're starting at
A fresh
on day
pour.
one. Yeah, it's a fresh start.
It's funny you say that because like one thing I've noticed is like when I reflect and like I know like a chapter is closing and a chapter is beginning, like I kind of get sad in a way and depressed. Like it's almost like I learned this in the military, like when I was like moving or even like completing ranger school. Like when I knew like big things like that were done, like I almost like take a step back and just like de-stress so hard from an experience, like a term in the military, ranger schools, things like that. Like I would de-stress so hard. It's hard for me to word it. Like I would take that entire experience, and just think about it and let it all out. And like all that pent up energy I had, or motivation. I don't like the word motivation because motivation's shit, but like all the energy I had during that experience, all the good and bad, all the thoughts I had, knowing that an experience is coming to an end, I can just kind of let it go. And I kind of let it go in like, not necessarily a negative way, but like I kind of get a little depressed and sad about it, and then I pick myself back up and just like focus on what's next. It's really hard to explain. I do it all the time. Like I just thought about it the other day of like I've been in this stock for over a year and a half, and I wrote it all the way up and wrote it all the way down. And the other day I finally got the best news I've had the entire year of trading. I finally got the good news. And like I almost cried out of just so many emotions of waiting for this stock to go, that it was like I knew that the chapter of me waiting for that news was gone, and I could now focus on like what's next with this. And this could very well be something that's going to change my life forever. So it was like I let out all that stress and anger and depression like over the last couple days, and it was like just overwhelming. Like I had to like take naps and like drink coffee because I was just so drained from waiting so long for that. Like I remember buying it back in April of 2021, and I've been waiting till like 2 days ago for the news that I just got. It was just like words can't express when you have, you know, 5-6 figures in a stock to finally get news. And it was, man, all I'll say about 2023, like it's going to be amazing, and I'll keep you guys updated on it. But I'm happy with 2022. Honestly, it may not seem like it because I had so many bad things happen, but like I'm just so freaking grateful for all the tiny things. But I definitely need to work on myself better because like mentally I'm not in the same spot I was just a couple of years ago, like because of the stress from stocks. Like, yeah, that's something I need to get in better control of this next year for myself and people around me. I've lost a lot of friendships, and you know, a lot of it's just because I've made stupid mistakes, said stupid things, or done stupid things, and lost some really good friends. And 2023 is going to be a big year for me to work on myself, that's for sure, in a lot of aspects.
That's awesome, man. Kelly, do you have anything else about 2022? Like any like big regrets, things that you wish that you would have done that you didn't do? Any relationships that you let go of this year or anything like that? Starting off fresh?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready for a fresh start. I mean, that's one thing I want to look forward to next year is just like continuing to not cultivate new ones, but just like grow existing relationships that I have now. Like there are a lot of friends that I've let maybe like kind of slip away a little bit, or I don't reach out to as like often as I should, and it's so stupid because it's so easy to just send a text like the other day I bought like this tea. It's so stupid, but I bought this tea that my friend recommended like 6 years ago. I drink this tea all the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, I should like text her a picture of this tea box and like tell her I'm thinking about her, because every time I buy this tea, I think of her. And it's like those silly little things, and it's like takes 2 seconds on my part, and that could potentially make someo's whole day. So
It's true.
It's
I
funny
need
you
to be
mention
better
that
about that.
because
I
like I met this
think about it. I just don't always put action to it.
I met this guy. We went home on not Christmas leave, but when we went back to Idaho here a couple months ago to her best friend's wedding, America's best friend's wedding. I don't know if I ever told you about Brandon when I met Brandon. Did I tell you that?
Mm-mm. I don't think so.
So, well, he was one I wanted to have on as a guest speaker because he had his own business at 16, right?
You did,
And
yeah.
So, yeah, that's Brandon. Well, I was like her best friend. She's, you know, very, very like they're religious. They had I think like a Catholic or a Christian wedding, like a real, like quote unquote real. America said sometimes they're like 400 people, but like it was a couple hours long. Like it was the real deal. And I show up in shorts and a t-shirt, and I have, as our listeners know, I have sleeves, and I have my leg tattooed, so I definitely look out of place, and I always get attention everywhere I go. And like the day of the wedding, which was the next day, this guy walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" And like shakes my hand, like really pointed like towards meeting me, right? And this does tie into 2022 because I'm very thankful for the people that I've met in 2022. Like he just like walks up to me and starts talking to me. He was a pretty young kid. I think he's like 20, 21. And but yeah, he had his own business at 16. He's married already to this great girl Jackie. Like, and we just like hit it off. Like he had zero interest in like talking to the groomsmen because they were all being, you know, themselves. And he's like, I saw you yesterday, and he's like, and I told Jackie, I was like, I'm talking to that dude tomorrow. Like, he has some stories, like he has some things he's been through. I want to talk to him, and we have been like best friends ever since. Like, we talk all the time, and he's been such a huge like supporter of this podcast. Like he's already listened to like the Sophia podcast. He's like, dude, she's really smart. She's really knowledgeable. Like, he's been so amazing. Him, Joe, who I also want to have on as a guest speaker, that built this PC. Like, and Noah, like those two are my military buddies. Like, they've all been really supportive of the podcast. Like Bob, like it's great to see. Like I feel like some people expect it. Like, oh, I have a podcast, my friends will listen. Like, you'll be surprised how many of your friends won't listen. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And it's kind of disheartening. So, like in my eyes, like I don't hold as like animosity towards the people that don't listen, but like the people that do support me, like Brandon, Joe, Noah, Bob, like I love that. Like, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't take much to really make certain people happy. Like just talking about it makes me happy. Like, I don't know. Like, just freaking thank you to those people. Like, I can't tell those people how much it means to me, because I think it's easier for people to be selfish and not support people, so that when people do it, you know, it means that much more. And I definitely lost some people in 2022, but the few people that I have met, it's great to see how close I've gotten to them, and like how much I mean to them and how much they mean to me. I'm pretty picky about who I let into my life. And yeah.
Kelly, we made the cut.
I guess, please, Louise.
So, Tracy, thanks for sharing all of that. Like, it's great to see how like you have such a positive outlook and aspect on everything, and how you're like pumped and motivated to not only have like your good close friends on that have stories that they want to share and everything else, but also for yourself. So, what goals for 2023 like do you guys have specifically? Like, obviously, me, I want to get more in shape. I want to be in the best shape that I could possibly be by the end of 2023. And my biggest thing that I need to cut out is my drinks. I like my drinking.
Same.
Your alcohol, you mean?
Yeah, it's counterintuitive. You know, you have like one drink and all the sugar that's in that one drink, but who just wants one fucking drink, right? You want more than one drink. So by the end of the night, what?
There's sugar and alcohol?
No, but who just goes and gets like a drink of just alcohol? Typically, you get like a cocktail.
I mean, even if you get like a vodka soda, which is like the healthiest
Yeah.
drink you can get, you're still like
vodka
drinking all
soda.
night.
You think is the healthiest drink you can get?
It's the lowest calorie.
Soda is like one of the most.
It's
soda
soda
is like one of the
water. It's
worst
just
things you can
carbonated
put in your
sparkling
body.
water.
Tracy doesn't drink, so he doesn't understand it. Yes, Tracy, drinking, there's a lot of sugar in drinking because of the additives, the cherry syrup that they add, the soda that they add. Like, even on Long Island, they add Coke to it, and they add lemonade. So and then even some alcohols, I think, have some sugars, like alcohol sugars. So, yes, there's sugars in it.
I don't really give a shit what people do to their body, personally. Like, typically, I don't, like, fuck around with people that are really big on drinking, because it just doesn't vibe with, like, my goals and stuff. But
maybe it should.
Like, if you want to treat your body like a fucking amusement park, like, go for it. But, like, don't bitch about the fact that you're not losing or gaining weight when you're fucking cherry bombing your guts out. Like,
so by the end of this year, I will have biked almost 1,400 miles. So I can tell that even with all the drinking that I've done, I've still like have created definition and put on muscle. It's just
Yeah.
if I didn't drink that much, I could have put on that much more, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, you
So
burn a lot of
how
those
many?
calories off. Is the difference between like you and somebody that doesn't like work out and stuff. Like, it's not fucking rocket science. Like, I'm gonna just say this for anybody that's listening. Like, if you want to gain weight or lose weight, 80 to 90% of that is what you put in your body. Period. Like, if you're gonna eat shit, but you're gonna go to the gym, like eating like complete shit and going to the gym doesn't really make sense to me. Like,
What were you gonna say, Kelly?
yeah, sorry.
Oh, I no, you're okay. I was gonna ask about like your biking. Like, how many miles do you have a goal for next year?
Yeah, I was
More
gonna
than
ask
what I
that.
did this year, because I look back at how many like weeks I just took off, and I'm just like, God damn it! So I will literally sit on my stationary bike or go to the gym, and like so during the summer I'll bike to the gym, do my workout, and then bike home, and then bike even more on my exercise bike. Uh, I try to bike anywhere from like 4 to 8 miles a day. It's
That's
fun,
amazing.
and I'll take like 2 or 3 days off a week maybe.
I have an honest question because
What?
I've done cycling classes, and doesn't that hurt your butt?
No, so sometimes, so the seat that I got with my exercise bike, like if I sit on that for long periods of time, my butt does hurt. But what I just do is I take like a small little dish towel and I just put it on top of the seat, and it creates like the perfect amount of cushion so it doesn't hurt my butt.
Wow, ingenuity.
And I'll play
Josh, we
What
video
should
else
hold,
games
is
too, and just like do this and like play video games while I'm biking.
we should
what else
hold each
is on
other
your list?
accountable. Go ahead,
What?
Kelly.
Oh, I was just gonna ask what else is on his list for
Mine?
yours. Yeah.
Well, I want to grow my business here in Oregon more. We do a lot of business in Washington and some here, but to do business in like Seattle is like a 3 to 4 hour drive one way. We make more money there, but I would rather pick up more business in Oregon and not have to drive 7, 8 hours for a job and still set that job.
Yeah.
Like if we go there, we set a job one day, drive back, that's like 7, 8 hours. And then we have to go take it down in 3 days. That's 7, 8 hours more that's taken out of our schedule just driving alone for two people. It's ridiculous. And I just want to be
Yeah.
home more and then also grow our Florida branch down in Gainesville. So I want to do that. What about you guys? I'll come back to me,
I
Tracy.
was gonna tell you, Josh, we should keep each other accountable this year for our fitness goals because I
Oh, yeah,
definitely want to
man.
gain some muscle. But my biggest issue is I don't eat enough, and I know the big deal of that is like one thing in Ranger School is like you like after Ranger School, like I really didn't give a shit about food. Like I ate food for fuel. That's it. Like I rarely eat food for comfort, and so like especially trading stocks, like I said, I don't eat a lot, and that's a huge. Like that's another reason why I don't work out, and it sounds really stupid, but I know that if I'm gonna work out, like I need to eat more, like if I'm gonna gain weight, so I just don't bother. Like I know when I do this journey, like I'm just gonna go all out. I'm gonna start eating more, which is hard for me to do. So yeah, I think you and I should keep each other updated on this fitness journey.
Yeah, and I need to start eating more because I always want to put on more muscle, and I don't really understand why I don't. But then what you just said, I look at my diet and I'm like, I don't eat
I'm
breakfast,
telling you,
I don't eat
like
lunch,
everything.
and then when I eat
Yeah,
dinner, it's like chicken teriyaki. Where's my?
it's always in the kitchen. Like that's why it's so. Like I tell people straight to their face, like if you're gonna go to the gym, but then you're gonna eat shit, like just don't go to the gym. Like unless you're like burning a shit ton of calories or something, like we'll go over it a lot in like our like when we do a fitness podcast. But
Yeah,
it's not as hard as people make it out to be. Like I know exactly why I didn't gain weight in 2022. I was just lazy as shit and stressed and depressed almost the whole freaking year because of stocks. So
It's
but
not hard if you have discipline. If you don't
that's
have
pretty much it.
discipline, that is where it gets hard.
Yeah, and
and when
most
you
people just don't have
drink,
discipline. And
well,
the
when
thing
you
is like one thing I've seen about people is like you'll give them the answer to like this is how you can lose weight, and they'll just be like, well, that's hard, and it's just like whatever. Like, I don't know how many people I've tried to help that just weren't willing to put in the work. Like, they wanted it to be comfortable. That's a big thing is, like, people want to lose weight comfortably and they want to gain weight comfortably at their own pace. They don't want to challenge themselves. They don't want to push their boundaries. They want to be fucking coddled.
For people to put it into perspective about that, it takes roughly 1 hour of cycling to burn 100 grams of sugar. So if you take a 16-ounce can of Pepsi, which I had last night, that had 55 grams of sugar in it alone. So that right there says you have to bike 30 minutes to like burn off that 1 can of soda. And I see people drink like 3 or 4 sodas in a day, and I'm like, and that's just soda, not including their food. It's like, and what exercise are you doing, bro?
I used to do that. Dude, did I tell you the story?
Also not including the vodka.
Dude, Josh, did I tell you the story of when I was in Ranger School and I got, I was in Dahlonega and Mountain Phase of Ranger School and I had to do Mountain Phase over again and there was a 6-week layover, right? Did I ever tell you this story?
Mm-mm.
So, it was during the time of Best Ranger, and that's when, like, all, like, the high speed, like, the most badass, like, Ranger qualified dudes get selected to compete in Best Ranger. So there's a 6-week layover. And we helped them set up the Best Ranger course in Dahlonega. And there's, like, all these events and stuff, and they let us, like, buy stuff from the vendors. And I was so malnourished that I ate an extra large pizza from Papa John's by myself, and then a half of one, and then like 4 Dr. Peppers and 2 Snickers and a bag of chips in one sitting. It was disgusting. And I don't know how I did it because like in Ranger School, you're so malnourished that like, I don't know how my stomach fit all that. It was the weirdest thing in my life. Anyways, yeah, don't do that, kids.
So what else for 2023? What are you excited for?
Well, I have my list to go through.
Yeah, Kelly, explain.
I have this all written down.
See Taylor Swift. See Taylor Swift. See Taylor
That
Swift.
is on here. So the first one is to read 12 books. Last year I joined a book club. And so I'm going to continue with that. And I'm going to make sure I do 12, which is a lot for me, considering if I took like the last 10 years of my life, I've probably read like 5 books.
What kind of books do you like?
Well, I'm going to do the book club selections, so I won't really get to pick those, but
50 Shades of Grey.
Not 50 Shades. I like ones where it's a romance, but there's a like mystery to it or crime. So I have really gotten into this author, Colleen Hoover. So I want to read more of her books. And I'm not going to count this cookbook I got for Christmas as one of my 12 books. Just to clarify.
I have a book recommendation for you.
Okay.
It's a romance novel. It's called Where the River Ends. Have you ever heard of that one?
No, it sounds like it'd be up my alley, though.
It's probably my favorite book I've ever read in my life.
Wow.
Is it a Nicholas Sparks book?
It's a Nicholas Spark-esque type of book, yeah.
Okay.
I'll
have to remember that.
Definitely. You guys seem educated.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a beautiful book. I need to just buy it for my collection. I do have the entire Jack Reacher collection, too. I've read that entire collection, and it's very good. What else have I read? Have you seen the movie, what is it, Mars with Matt Damon? Or Martian? Martian?
I feel like I have.
That's a really freaking good book. FYI.
Sci-fi normally isn't my thing, but
it's not really sci-fi. It's like they make a trip to Mars, and some bad stuff happens. That's why it's called Mars. That's a really good book.
Are there aliens in it?
No.
Then
you guys,
it's called Martian because he's stranded on Mars.
Okay, let me get back to my list though.
Yeah, go ahead. I go off a lot.
So I want to meet all of my work goals. I have a whole separate sheet that I use at work as a recruiter, we are 100% commission based. So my income is directly impacted on how many people I help find jobs. So I want to meet all my work goals.
It's awesome.
I want to continue investing. I had gotten a financial advisor like a year ago or so. So that's been really helpful and I want to continue doing that. I'm in a wedding in October, so I want to lose 30 pounds. We'll see if that happens. That perpetually is on my goal list every year. Last year I did lose 20, so that was pretty good.
It's easy to do.
It's easy to do. You got your two bros here.
With,
Cut calories.
I am gonna try and switch to more vodka sodas though, because
never mind.
My Jameson gingers are high on the sugar scale.
They're calorie killers.
Huh?
They're calorie killers.
I know. And I drink lots of doubles of them. I'm gonna work on decluttering and finishing house projects. I do love a good DIY home project. And then, like I said earlier, I want to continue actively engaging in my relationships. Maybe I'll actually have a relationship this upcoming year. That would be nice. Single AF. And then all my travel plans I've listed. So in February, we're going to Cabo. In May, I'm going to Omaha, Nebraska to see Lizzo.
On purpose?
To see Lizzo.
Oh, fuck.
And Lotto. I don't know if you know Lotto. Big energy. I kind of skipped Taylor Swift. Is in March. And she's in Glendale, Arizona. And then for the wedding I'm going to be in October, they're doing a big bachelorette party weekend in June in Scottsdale, Arizona. And they rented like this mansion, I'll call it. And it has all of these bedrooms. Like, it holds 25 people.
Oh, wow.
It does. So we're getting a big, and it has a pool and a hot tub and a tennis court and a basketball court. And
are you guys going to read books and play checkers?
Yeah, that's exactly. And I'm going to bring a puzzle.
I knew it.
Love puzzles. Maybe braid each other's hair. We'll see.
Ooh.
So lots of travel plans, but I do want this list to grow.
Yeah, there's nothing on there for Oregon.
I know. That was one of the things I wanted to do.
I want to have a meetup with both of you in this 2023.
I also have not been to Nashville in years, and I haven't been to Vegas in years, and I've been craving both of them.
Oregon and Vegas.
And for Oregon, on my bucket list, I love Twilight, like the movie and book series. And a lot of the film scenes were filmed in your area, Josh. So you can go and take a tour of them. So that's one of my bucket list items too.
Your sister came up here like 4 years ago for a couple hours. I got to see her. But you actually got to come up and visit.
I know, yeah. So those are my 2023 goals.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely want to capitalize on the friendships I do have. And I decided today I'm going to take a break from trading and just focus on myself more and the people that are in my life more. So, because I saw what it did to me in 2022 and it's just not worth it. Like, it was miserable. So, shout out to all my peeps that stuck by my side, all 4 of them. So, but yeah, I think that mixed with getting back in shape and actually like paying attention to, you know, the fitness side of my life that I lost touch with these last few months. It's like I always try and I give it up again. I'm probably going to get into combatives again. It's just, I get a bit nervous because I ripped my rib muscle in the military, and it's an extremely tender part of my body where if like I took a heel or a foot or a knee to my ribs again when I was training, it would be pretty catastrophic for me. So it's something I'm very weary about, which is another reason why I haven't trained again. But yeah. Also, shout out to Balo Technologies on YouTube. That's my buddy Joe. I believe he's uploading the video today of him building my computer, and he was so
Awesome.
freaking pumped. Like, I'm so excited to watch it. This thing is a beast. Like, big shout out to him for doing that. Like, yeah.
Why don't you show our viewers what he made?
He was so freaking excited to do this, and I don't blame him because this thing is I'm currently powering
Sorry,
half of my
maybe
remote.
not. I thought it was right next to you. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. I have this like dead space in here, so I like put my Ranger Airborne tabs, and that's my actual deployment flag that I've had. Like, I only had one of them, I think, on deployment, and my Sergeant Stripes and that unit patch was from Alaska. So, yeah. I'm
Very
definitely
cool.
excited to see. Yeah, I'm excited.
Any
to see
other
it.
goals you guys have?
No.
One thing I've started doing recently is taking money out of stocks to just like buy things like, I have this new monitor because it's a new PC, but it doesn't have speakers. So I like took a few $100 here for like new speakers, just stuff like that. I didn't pay myself enough in 2022 with my stock portfolio, which is ridiculous considering I could have paid off both my houses, and I didn't do that. That's one thing I'm going to do better at in 2023 is taking some money out for things like taking trips, because Lord knows we need to do that in 2023 because I think she'll be getting out of the military. So, yeah, that, paying attention more to myself and my friends, getting better mentally is probably number one on my list for not only myself, but for because I've lost friends, and I know some of it was because of me being stupid, and I could admit that in front of everybody. So I need to just do better at just being a better person, honestly. So
I think everyone could.
yeah, well, a lot of people don't admit that, and they just, yeah, it's good to admit it.
Well, friends, anything else you want to say before we get going?
Yeah, I think it would be great for our podcast in 2023 to grow our audience.
Hell yeah.
I think we just put our 11th episode up, and so I think it'd be great for us to focus on being more active on Facebook. I think one thing we're going to do here soon is I'm going to make a post on my Facebook personally and probably Instagram about just like 2022 in general. And put a whole bunch of pictures in there and the experiences I had, the people I've met. And I think that would be great for us to put that on our Rooted Perspectives Facebook because, like people see us on the podcast, but they don't. Like, we're doing really good about engaging our listeners on the Facebook, but to actually have pictures of us, like doing things, with our dogs or whatever in the everyday life, I think that's something that we need to do better for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly?
I definitely want to continue having guest stars. We had Sophia, and then coming up shortly, I'm gonna have my friend Sam on the podcast, and he's the most like eclectic, cool guy I know. You'll hear his story, but he has like a really cool Peace Corps story. He lived in Mozambique. He actually met his future wife there, and brought her back to the States. So I want to hear about all of that. They both run businesses, and they're just really, it's so interesting. Like when you're younger, I feel like you lean towards people who are very similar to you. And this guy is just not like me at all. So when I met him, I was like, this is so cool that I feel like I could be really good friends with a guy who is nothing like me, has a totally different story than me. So I want to continue having guest stars. I think our goal is to have like 1 or 2 a month.
I think that's a very fair goal to have, and also attainable. It's very smart.
And we want to continue to be consistent. So with there being 52 weeks in the year, we want to have a episode every week and just continue to keep producing content. And we want that content to be we want our listeners to be able to take something away from it, whether it's even just entertainment or learning something new. We want our content to be engaging and exciting and people to actually want to listen to it. So for our viewers, if anyone has any feedback, please let us know.
I think it would be great for our viewers to like give us ideas or some things they want us to review or talk about or have us research, and because I want to have more informative podcasts as well, so people are getting things out of this. That's one thing I want to do in 2023. So if any of our listeners have any idea, especially since we're going to be more active on Facebook, and I'm going to be making a YouTube here soon too, like let us know, because I'm all for it.
Sounds good, man.
I agree.
Well, Fran,
well, to wrap this up,
anything else?
I'm sure we'll think of things when we're done.
Of course. Well, you guys have a fantastic evening.
I will see you guys.
Have a good New Year's. Fresh start. Couple days here.
Right.
Yeah. And actually do it.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Later.